Hello students, welcome you all to this session. Now we are going to start a new chapter of class 10, that is our environment. So what do you mean by environment? Before going to the meaning of environment, we have heard the word environment often being used by so many people, by our surroundings, by our friends or by elders saying that our environment is not earlier what we are living. So environment means our surroundings. Environment means our surroundings, where organisms like plants, animals, microorganisms live and they are depending on each other. Plants, animals and microorganisms live and they are depending on each other for their survival. So every organism in this environment is always depending on each other for their food, shelter, survival, reproduction, etc. So environment means our surroundings, and study of environment is called ecology. Study of environment is called ecology. Then what are the components? So in this chapter we are going to study about the components of ecosystem, meaning of environment, and the interaction between the components of ecosystem, that is the biotic and abiotic component. Ecosystem is nothing but same. Ecosystem and environment are both similar. It is our surroundings where organisms are living and they are depending on each other for their survival. The interaction between biotic and abiotic together constitute a ecosystem. So components of ecosystem. Components of ecosystem. First one, the biotic components. The living components of ecosystem are called as biotic components. Example, let's write the meaning. The living components of ecosystem is called or are called biotic components. Example, plants, animals, microorganisms or microbes, etc. are called living components or the biotic components of ecosystem. Number 2, abiotic components. Abiotic means non-living components. The non-living components of ecosystem are called abiotic components. Example, air, water, soil are called as abiotic components. Temperature. But you should know that always there is interaction between biotic and abiotic components for their survival. Now organisms, living organisms, they cannot stay alone. We are always depending on air for breathing, we are depending on water for drinking. Even temperature also plays a very important role in organisms' body. So we are always depending on biotic, abiotic components for our survival. Now ecosystem, there are two types of ecosystem. Natural ecosystem and artificial or man-made ecosystem. Artificial ecosystem. First one, natural ecosystem includes forests. Artificial or man-made ecosystem includes aquarium, or you can say some garden, small gardens where small plants are growing like herbs, shrubs. So all these living organisms interact with abiotic components for their survival. So they are called as biotic and abiotic components, and together it is called as an ecosystem. So there are different ecosystems like natural and artificial or man-made ecosystem. Natural ecosystems are the one which are present in nature naturally they are present, called as forest ecosystem. Forest ecosystem consists of so many plants, wild trees, animals, etc. And other types of ecosystem are ponds, forests, lakes, pools, etc., which are forming artificial or man-made ecosystem. One man-made ecosystem example is aquarium. Now it is you have seen in your homes aquarium, right? Even you can bring aquarium to your home. We have seen the entire earlier classes about producers, consumers and decomposers. Here we study about three components: producers, consumers and decomposers. First one, producers. All green plants are called as producers. Who are the producers here? So there are three categories in the ecosystem. Three organisms are classified into three categories: producers, consumers and decomposers. All green plants in the ecosystem or plants are coming under category called as producers. Green plants. Why they are called as producers? Because they are producing food, and they are producing food by process called as photosynthesis. Green plants are called as producers. They are producing food, and the one which are depending on producers are called as consumers. They are called consumers because they cannot prepare their own food. When human beings, animals were depending on plants for our food, so we are coming under consumers. Again, different categories are there: primary consumer, secondary consumer and tertiary consumers. Next, third category comes decomposers. Decomposers mainly includes bacteria, fungi, which are responsible for breaking down of complex organic matter into simple form. Now, for example, when a plant or animal die, what happens? It decomposes. How it decomposes? By a bacterial action. So they are called as decomposers. Decomposers play a very important role in the ecosystem. So three categories are the producers, consumers and decomposers. Now, organisms are always depending on each other for food or for survival or reproduction. That we will study in food chain and food webs. Next one, food chain. So animals which are interdependent or interconnected is called as a food chain. So, and the series of organisms taking part in a food chain, they form a level, and each category or level is called a trophic level. It is called a trophic level. So, first you can see in the ecological pyramids, at the base there are producers. Producers are at the base, then comes consumers, then comes primary consumers, then comes secondary consumers, then tertiary consumers, and last comes decomposers. So producers are forming the base of the pyramid. Now green plants are told they are the producers, and consumers are depending on producers for food. So this is one trophic level: T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 and so on. So this is about the ecological pyramid or food chain. An interconnecting food chain is called a food web. Interconnecting food chain or different food chains together form a food web. Web means what? Large network you can say. So many food chains are connected together forming a food web. Now what about energy? They are utilizing solar energy or the radiant energy from the sun and preparing food by a process called as photosynthesis. Now how much of sunlight they are utilizing? They are utilizing only 10% of solar energy, and energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Now we'll see how the energy is flowing in different parts of this trophic level. Now here there is only 10% energy utilized by plants. What happens when the energy is transformed to next level? The energy goes on decreasing. That is, energy is unidirectional. The flow of energy is in only one direction, because energy is not gained back when it is lost. So again it decreases here. As it goes on different trophic levels, the energy decreases. So you can say the flow of energy is in unidirectional. So only 10% is utilized by plants to prepare food. About remaining 90% of energy is lost as heat. So it is called as 10% law. Again we will study in higher classes about 10% law. What is the meaning of 10% law? That is, only 10% of the total energy in the entire ecosystem or in the entire surroundings is utilized by organisms to prepare the food, and the remaining 90% is lost as heat. That is called as 10% law. So see how much of it we are using solar energy, only 10% to perform so many activities by all the organisms in the ecosystem. Only 10% is utilized, 90% is lost as heat. This is called as 10% law. Now one more thing, the flow of energy is unidirectional. This is very important. Unidirectional means what? Only in one direction, because energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only can be transformed from one form to another form. So producers are using 10%. Again it goes on decreasing as the energy moves from one trophic level to another trophic level. That is called as 10% law. Now 10% plants are producing, again some amount again is used by consumers, again utilizing some energy, again decreasing, again remaining is going to primary consumer, again some energy going secondary. So what is the amount of energy transforming to all trophic levels? It goes on decreasing. So little energy is remaining for the decomposers, but they are playing a very important role. Decomposers are useful in decomposing the waste substances. They are breaking down complex organic matter into simple form. That is the ecosystem. Next, coming to now, as these organisms move from one trophic level to another trophic level, there are some chemicals being utilized. Chemicals are being entering from plants. How the plants are getting chemical substances? Now you know, nowadays in agriculture people are using chemicals in the fields for protecting them from insect and pest. Then what happens? Some amount of chemical is being introduced into this ecosystem, this chemical. But see, if you compare the energy is not gained back, it is moving from one trophic level to another trophic level. But what about the chemical concentration? If the chemical is more here in producing plants, then that concentration of chemical goes on increases as it moves from one trophic level to another trophic level. The concentration of DDT, if we take an example of DDT, we are spraying chemicals like DDT, so many harmful chemicals. The concentration of chemical substance called as DDT, it increases from one trophic level to another trophic level. So consumers, they are getting the chemical substance in their body, that is again transformed to different trophic levels, but the concentration of that chemical substances increases. That is called as biomagnification. So maximum concentration, so they are not degradable, they are not non-biodegradable. So we have to reduce the use of chemical substances in plants and to go for organic farming. So human beings occupy top level in any food chain. See where human beings are, we are in the top level of the ecosystem or in the pyramids. So we are getting some large number of chemical is being entering in our body from producers, then consumers, primary, secondary, tertiary consumers. So the concentration of chemical goes on increasing and entering our body, leading to so many harmful diseases. That is called as biomagnification. So this is how the food grains like rice, wheat, vegetables, so many chemicals are being sprayed in the field to protect from insect and pests. So to go for organic farming using vermicompost, vermiculture, so that the chemical composition is being decreased. So this is about food chain, food web, primary consumers, secondary consumers and tertiary consumers. Now I told about 10% law. So once again, energy is neither created nor destroyed. Producers are the green plants here. Green plants are the producers. And we are also going to study about some environmental issues in this chapter. Environmental issues. So people know environment is very, very essential. We require plants, animals, air, water, both abiotic and biotic components for our survival. But we are not keeping our environment clean. And you know, food chain, if you take an example of a simple food chain, that is grasshopper, then comes frog, snake, eagle. A very common and simple food chain it is. Grass is the plant that is producers, that is being eaten by an insect called as grasshopper. Then grasshopper is being eaten by frog, frogs are eaten by snakes, snakes is eaten by eagle. This is an example of a simple food chain. Now I'll ask you a question. What happens if any one trophic level where all organisms are killed? What happens if all the organisms are killed from a particular trophic level? For example, frog. Now what happens? Does the snake eat grasshopper? No, snakes eat only the larger animals like frog, chameleons, lizards, etc. So if frogs are removed from the ecosystem, what happens? The animals cannot survive. So each and every organism in the environment is very, very essential for our survival. Even if you take an ant or large animal like elephant, we are directly dependent on those animals, but we are indirectly depending on every organism. So every organism plays a very important role in the ecosystem. So we have to conserve the number of species. If we take one more example of animals like goat, take an example of grass, again grass, goat, deer, lion, wild animals like lion. Now if we remove one organism, you can say, for example, the goat. Here I'll write lion. Now I'll remove goat from this ecosystem.